Welcome to Healthy Five with Dr. Niyati, another episode of gut health, inflammatory food, what is intermittent fasting, and what is a long term fasting, what does fast do to our body, and how do we go about all this. So, you've seen two episodes already on what is gut health and what is exactly our digestion. I would like you to comment. I would like you to ask questions also. If you haven't yet subscribed for my channel, then do think about doing so. And don't forget to press the notification bell icon. I'm going to come with live videos also, and I'm going to keep the chat open so that we can have an session in which we can have question and answers. So if you have pressed the notification bell icon, you will get the notification of these live videos. So now, without wasting time, I would like to go directly to why we should keep our stomach empty. I've given you a small synopsis of why we should keep our stomach empty in the second episode. So in this third episode, I'm coming up with exactly what is intermittent fasting. A lot is being said about intermittent fasting, long fasting. So I would like to, in general, give you an idea about what fast does to our body. When I think about fasting, I really feel like thanking our ancestors who put this fast into our religious ideas and our religious beliefs and the whole religion in general. Because I think among most of the people, of course, Christians also have fasting during Lent. Islam also tells about fasting. In Hinduism, it is a general rule that you should fast once in a week, leave one meal or two meals once in 15 days, which all my Hindu friends must be doing. We do on Ekadashi. Both the times we don't eat food, so that is, you don't fast in two meal times on that particular day. If you haven't done so, then at least fast for 8 days or 4 days like we do in Navratri, Chaitri Navratri, and other times also. So fasting has been traditional in most of the religions because of this. Actually, the scientific reason is this, that give your intestines some relief, some time off. We have holidays on Sundays, but our intestines are continuously digesting and continuously taking out all the fecal matter from our body, all the all the stuff that we don't need. It's taking it out, but sometimes it's overwhelmed with too much of things, and it's standing there waiting to be removed, but it's not getting removed. So fasting is very important. Now remember, in intermittent fasting, how do you count your hours? So I've seen people who come to my clinic and even ask me in the clinic about intermittent fasting. They say, doctor, we have our dinner at 8 o'clock. So the fasting starts at 8 o'clock. Till next morning, 8 o'clock, I don't eat anything. It's like a 12-hour fast. No, dear friends, this is not a 12-hour fast. This is a 10-hour fast. How? You should not count the fasting hours at the time you finish your food. You should start counting 2 hours after you finish your food. Okay? So your fasting time actually starts at 10 o'clock. So if you want to do a 12-hour fast or a 14-hour, then don't have anything till say 12 o'clock or 10 o'clock the next morning. Now, at such a time, people generally, because they used to have breakfast and coffee and tea and things like that, they generally tend to feel weak. Remember this, that the feeling of weakness is all here in our minds. We have not done anything. We just gone to sleep. We have not done any workout or anything. If you are doing a workout early in the morning, then it's okay, but still you don't feel so tired. In fact, by 12 o'clock, like you're famished and you want to have a good meal, and then the digestive juices and all your intestines, your stomach are ready to welcome that food. Come, I want to digest you. Understood? So if you want to do an intermittent fasting, I would advise, don't do it like every week or every 2 weeks, or do it once in a month. Or if you want, you like it, then you can do what is called as nowadays OMAD, 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day. The most important things that Indians need to know is, many a times we are having 2 meals only a day. But in the middle, the chakli, the chuda, that maybe sev puri, bhel puri, vada pav, all these things, or gathia and sev and khakra, all these are like sugar. They also have 6 times amount of salt that is required by our body. So you can imagine what mistakes we are making. So in intermittent fasting, start counting 2 hours after your food. Now you can do a different kind of fast once in 6 months. Like a 2-day fast or a full 1-day fast, then you graduate onto a 2-day fast or a 3-day fast. In that you can decide what you want to have. Like what I do is that I generally like to have liquids, but I also don't want to have constipation. So what I do is that I usually have some soups, like maybe a palak soup, spinach soup, along adding all the 5 dals if I want to be vegetarian. If I don't mind, I can have a chicken stock also inside my palak spinach soup. I make a thin soup. So it's like a water fast. It's like a liquid fast. I will not call it a water fast because it's a liquid fast. I have lots of water on that particular day. Coffee and tea, yes. Now suppose you want to go on a 3-day, or say we'll do a 1-day water fast in the beginning, in which you're going to drink water, you're going to have liquids, and you're going to have tea and coffee. Now if you've decided that you don't want to have tea and coffee, remember friends, you need to wean yourself away from caffeine at least 3 to 4 days before you're going to start your fast, because otherwise you're going to have caffeine withdrawal headaches. And then it's not fun doing a fast with those headaches. Secondly, you must see to it that your nutrition should not suffer. So many a times I also drink milk as a liquid, making it half milk, half water, or maybe 3/4 of milk and 1/4 part of water, because I am elderly and because of the menopause, I need calcium. So I have milk, or I have buttermilk. Many a times I tell people who have a digestion problem to just do 1-day buttermilk fast. They just have buttermilk in different forms. Like they can have buttermilk without salt, say in the morning. In the afternoon they can have with salt, ginger, and a little bit of black salt in it, or maybe a little bit of mint leaves in it, coriander. Then in the evening, when you're feeling a little tired, you can have a little thick buttermilk, maybe with a little bit of honey, or a little bit of maple syrup, or maybe cane sugar syrup, palm sugar syrup, or something like that, a little bit only. That you can have. And in the evening, you can have another small glass. Evening, usually Ayurveda says don't have buttermilk. So instead of buttermilk, I tell them to make khichdi and have a very thin khichdi. But in my khichdi, the rice is very little, 1 part of rice and 4 parts of dal, coupled together, boiled nicely, and you can have just the liquid that comes up, and then you can have that liquid and a little bit of khichdi, just a little bit. But the next morning you can leave the khichdi and have it the next morning when you break the fast. So remember one thing, when you finish your fast, then there is a small window that is called as breaking your fast, and then there is a window in which you start your eating window. So remember this, pre-fast, your fast, your post, that is break fast, that is we call after the fast is you're going to finish it off, and then starts your eating window. So don't just start hogging and ogling at food and because I've not eaten anything the whole day and eating. Now if you're like me, a compulsive exerciser, then if you're doing this liquid fast, you need to break down your exercise program into smaller portions and don't overdo it, because you might feel a little exhausted. Especially in places like India where you sweat a lot, and in Mumbai where you sweat a lot, try to see to it that your electrolyte balance also remains okay. So this is the way you can start 1-day fast, 2-day fast, 3-day fast. But the pre-fast, you're breaking your fast, and then your eating window is very, very important. Okay. So this will cause, what will happen? All the inflammation in your intestines, or the inflammation that is caused because of the wrong food. Especially I talk about India because it is a misconception, my dear friends, that the masalas we add into the food make the food light. actually the masalas make the food heavier to digest, and hence it causes an inflammation in our intestines. If you have simple, normal, bland food, it is very good for our intestines. Once in a while you can add a little bit of maybe red chili powder or something like that for a little bit of flavor, but keep it to the minimum so that the inflammation in your gut will also be properly relieved. So please see this video nicely. There are many other videos which guide you about your fasting. Do see those videos also. If you need any guidance about what is spoken in those videos, and maybe I have not spoken in my video and you would like to know, I'm flashing my number in the description box. You can contact me. If you would like to be a part of my WhatsApp group, Healthify with Dr. Niyati, then I can add you to the group too. Thank you for watching, and do leave your comments. I love to read your comments so that I get the impetus of making better videos.